All right, we're back. Fire Frank, Charlie over here to my. There he is. This way. Whatever. You see him. Welcome, welcome. Weekly Wrestling Verdict is back. Hope you guys are having a nice week and getting ready for your Thanksgiving weekend. So last week we talked about Full Gear, and I think we did pretty good on our predictions. And we can pat ourselves on the back a little bit again. I think the only thing we missed was the tag title match and the Texas Death Match was insane.
I went 7 for 9, so I don't know what match I missed.
I think we were pretty much in agreement on most of the stuff, so we did pretty well. We did pretty well again, just like we did for Crown Jewel. So yeah, so I know you were excited for Full Gear. So let me ask you, Charlie, how did you enjoy it?
Full Gear was awesome. It delivered. It was a week of AEW, and all of it delivered.
All of it delivered, except for Collision.
It was the appetizer for our Thanksgiving feast of Survivor Series.
It delivered. It did very well.
I still can't get over the fact that Swerve won.
I know. We thought for sure they were going to set up a third match, but you know what? I was pleasantly surprised watching this match. Hangman more than got his revenge, except for he got everything but the win here.
Yeah,
he stapled his son's drawing to the man's face. I mean, what else?
Yeah.
He drank his blood. No, once again, folks, he drank his blood.
Spat it out like Gangrel.
So I know I said going into the show last week, I said that I thought they had the best match at Wrestle Dream, and they decided let's get to top that. Just do a completely insane half hour. If you're going to do it right, and they did. Incredible match that I never probably want to watch again. That's a compliment. So big ups to those two guys. Good for Swerve getting a win. Hopefully moving up on the card here. He's like a movie villain now. He's like a horror movie villain.
He's like a horror movie villain.
And the Hangman brought the intensity, so good for them. It was a fun show. They definitely delivered. I mean, some of the stuff on the show, the main event was a little wonky, a little weird. We had MJF pulling out off his best 1991 Sting at the Clash of Champions against Rick Rude slash Stone Cold at the 99 Rumble, just driving an ambulance back. I could have done without that weird whole thing because I didn't think they were not going to deliver the match, so I thought it was kind of weird they did all that, but whatever. And then the match happened, and it was kind of like, it was kind of just ended, and that was that. Nothing revealed. Still some shades there. Cole almost accidentally costing him the match several times. So, that's still in the back of everybody's mind. We'll see where that goes. No devil reveal yet. But then again, if he's the devil, he was ringside. So I don't know. So that was a lot of fun. Ladder match was crazy. I felt bad for the Bucks, Jericho, and Kenny for having to follow that death match. Hey, what's going on? Smitty, Matthew, thanks for joining us tonight. Yeah, so that was a pretty fun show. And from there, we'll move on to our news of the week here. Actually, as we saw in Full Gear, we talked about the breaking news Tony Khan tweet just last week when he talked about his surprise big signing. And it's funny, the first person I thought of when the way he described it was Will Ospreay. And in fact, it was Will Ospreay, even though he's under contract to February. So I guess he just really wanted to get this news out early, even though it's kind of weird. He's like, I'm signing, but not till February, bro.
Yeah, I'll be there eventually.
Eventually. So it looks like, he'll be coming in full-time as of February. Obviously, I think he'll still do some stuff New Japan, everywhere else. He is not moving full-time to the States, it looks like. He's staying in the UK, so I guess that was part of it. I guess that played into his decision. Hey, good for him getting a nice new contract. I'm sure it's pretty lucrative. I know I'm sure Triple H was trying hard to get him, but, Tony's got him, so good for him getting that big bag, right? Having a heck of a year. I know a lot of most people online are pegging him as the wrestler of the year. I don't know. I know me and you don't watch as much New Japan, but the stuff I've seen him this year has been insane, including live at Forbidden Door against Omega, probably my match of the year. But we'll talk about that when we have our year-end awards at some point, I'm sure. Okay, so so we're getting ready here for War Games, like I said. We talked about last week what we thought was going to happen, all our setup. Friday, we got our confirmation of the fourth member for Bianca's team, or / Charlotte's team, because Charlotte was the one doing the recruiting. So, as we kind of expected, Becky Lynch deciding, I guess, taking I don't know if they still have the quarterly brand to brand invitational or the wild card or whatever they call it, which apparently Nick Aldis and Pierce made a deal here. We did see a Cody cameo on SmackDown too, setting up what we saw last night on Raw. So what do you think of Becky joining Team Bianca here?
It's worth it. It fills out the team very well.
Right on. Yeah, I know she was on. Were they not on the same team last year as well? So yeah, that's a good pick. Nice show long angle, teasing who's going to get. Apparently, she was really close because she called her with about 15 minutes left before the show. I guess she is. Becky happened to be in town with her gear and her makeup done just in case. But thank God she was there, coming out of the crowd. Yeah, that was a fun little ending. Weird, Charlotte, doing her usual moonsault and not connecting. Besides, and then her and poor Io had like this weird showdown that they seemed a little confused, but it was a chaotic end to the SmackDown. So we're set on the women's side. I guess we're sticking with 4-4 unless we get some shenanigans on Friday, but we'll see.
No, it'll be 4-4.
I think it's 4-4 for sure. So we've got, and also on last Friday, we got a confirmation of another match added to the card. And also we got the incredible promo from one Santos Escobar explaining his attack on Rey Mysterio, which legit injury, using this as a way to do it, but he did have legit knee surgery, Rey, so he's going to be out for some time. Kind of a good timing, actually, because he gets to take credit for putting the man out. Great promo. If anybody didn't know he can cut a promo like that, you didn't watch NXT, well, I think Santos proved his point on Friday. What'd you think of that, Charlie?
Definitely. Scarface promo.
The outfit, the confidence. He owned the mic. Selena coming out, great acting. The story's is working well so far. We'll see what happens. Obviously, Carlito stepping up to challenge Santos, going to be on Survivor Series, so that'll be fun. That was a great promo. What can you say about that? Other than, the man can talk. The man's a great heel, and he's showing it now. And it's even better now that he got to establish himself with Rey, because the crowd invested in him. Now, when the turn happened, they actually are into it. They're invested, and they were giving it to him. They tried to give him the watch chance, didn't let it bother him at all.
Nope.
What a pro.
Wasn't phased by
great job. That was pretty cool. So what else can we say about that other than let's go. Top heel. We also got to see another, which I was pleasantly surprised by. We got Dragon Lee having his weekly banger of a match here with NXT's own fellow or former NXT. Maybe. I don't know if he's staying. Is he going? Axiom.
Yeah, it was interesting seeing Zion.
He was.
SmackDown.
I mean, he really made an impression. Crowd didn't seem to care early on. They don't know these yet, but then they went out there and won them over. They were on their feet by the end, chanting, "This is awesome." Yeah. So, who would have thought, giving two guys to just go out there and have a great match? The crowd will like it. Got to re-educate your fan base. Triple H knows this, and this is how you do it.
Yep.
He got a lot of shine in the match. It wasn't a squash by any means. Came really close to winning. It was really nice. So hopefully it's a sign of things to come. Maybe he will be getting called up. We'll see. So that was SmackDown. Obviously, Raw last night. Did get to catch up. So, we got more. We got our Drew explanation promo, which is really good. Still loving this Drew character. We got the confirmation that he's joining with the Judgment Day just for this match. He's not joining the actual faction.
He's not joining the Judgment Day.
Says. But he took up Rihanna's offer to join the team, and which left our heroes without a fifth member that we've been speculating on for weeks. And Cody basically just did everything but actually name the man. It was really funny. The end of the show, he just mentioned everything he could without actually saying his name. And the crowd chanted. He said, "You're right," and that was it. He left it at that. And then just today, they officially announced it's going to be him, as if we know.
Hell yeah!
Randall Keith Orton making his long-awaited return after 18 months away or something like that.
Yeah.
Love Jay's reaction because he's like, "Oh yeah, me and my brother and my family, my cousins put this man on the shelf when they unified the tag titles last May or June of 2022." So the Viper coming back at Survivor Series in War Games. I'm glad they didn't actually have him come out last night, so we'll get that big return pop. I see a lot of people complaining that why they announced it. I'm like, nice, it's gonna get a pop. Relax. I know they're saying they had to get ahead of the CM Punk chance. Yes, but I don't think anybody thought he was going to join the team, even if he was going to
You're
show up.
thinking Randy Orton's not going to get a pop at
Come on.
Survivor Series. You're out of your mind.
It's very interesting, and it makes a lot of sense for Cody. And then there's a lot of fun there when you got, like I said, you got Jay and him. We'll see how they get along. Sammy was also involved with the Bloodline early on during that time, but not quite as he would be later, but still. So Randy's probably wondering what happened to his tag team partner, but the less said, the better. Anyway, yeah, that was confirmed. So we've got 5-on-5, so that'll be a lot of fun. Definitely looking forward to that match, as well as the women's War Games match. Anything else on Raw? Well, there was a lot of cool segments on Raw. I would say, we had a lot of Judgment Day stuff. We had the advantage match. Jay deciding he had to take on Drew. Drew just bullying his way into getting in the slot. I was kind of surprised they did this match last night, and it got a clean finish. So, yeah, I could have thought they would have saved this interaction, considering that Drew says he only wanted to get in the match to get his hands on Jay inside the cage. But, yeah, kind of surprised that they had this match. But as expected, the heels get the advantage, as they should in a War Games match. Now, it's for the women. I broke the news to Charlie that apparently Ruffles is running this promotion where you get to vote who gets the advantage, which – nice promotion, but which makes me think they expect the baby faces to get to win there. And if they don't, they'll probably be like, well, okay. Which makes sense if they're going to get the advantage, and then in the men's match, it's going to be the heels, of course. 5-on-5. We'll talk about more of that in a second. Yeah, so that was Raw. Some other cool stuff on the show. We had a lot of stuff set up. Gunther again killing it on the mic. With Mike, Little Mike, as he called him, The Miz. What'd you think of that promo? That was something.
That was fantastic. They both.
It's hard to believe, right? Everybody thought, oh, this guy, he's big, he's tough, but he doesn't talk. Well, he can talk.
No, they both certainly showed up for that promo.
Speaking of dealing with a hostile crowd, this crowd last night decided to start a USA chant for some reason, and my man Gunther just shut that down in 5 seconds.
Yeah,
incredible. Incredible poise he shows on the mic. Every week, I enjoy waiting. As soon as I see Gunther and he's going to grab a mic, I enjoy almost as much as seeing him wrestle. Almost. Yeah, that was fun. And actually, they managed to get the crowd behind Miz here as a babyface. So I can't wait to see Gunther destroy him on Saturday, but we'll talk about that in a second. Anything else on Raw you want to talk about? I know we got new number one contenders, the team that's had, one match? Natty and her many partners. It's a story that's as old as time. Natty and Tegan. Becky and Xia Li had quite a match too. I was impressed to see they got a lot of time, and Xia got a lot of shine in the match. They've done a great job building her up over the last couple of weeks. And she's got, in fact, tonight on NXT, got a shot at Lyra for the title. Which I found out today was pre-tape, which makes sense because of the holiday. I did not see the spoilers, so good for me. Good for you.
Good.
Yeah, so we'll see that match on NXT tonight, which we'll also see a couple qualifiers more for the Iron Survivor match. Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, so that was Raw. That was pretty good. Pretty good go home show. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes here.
Yes, Survivor Series. Let's go.
Survivor Series War Games. Okay.
War Games.
We don't have a lot of matches here, so it's not going to be very long. But let's talk about it. So, again, I mentioned before, we got Carlito taking on Santos Escobar in the "You broke my friend's knee. How could you? I'm going to come get you" match of the night. Or as Road Dogg said in commentary last SmackDown, he was trying to take food off his table. The table that Ray probably has a Gucci branded plate on, mind you.
Santos has to win this, right?
Right. I think I'll agree with you there. Carlito just came back recently, but I thought maybe they might have these two join up. Maybe we'll still see that, but I don't know. He's obviously either going to start his own new stable, or he was trying to tease us the other night with the rest of Legato, but maybe we'll see a new Legato for him. Yeah, he should get the win here, and he will get the win here, I expect. Doesn't make any sense. I know Carlito just came back, but the story here is not about him. This is Santos. It's just part of the bigger picture that we're going to be building, I'm sure, until whenever Ray gets back for the big match. Hopefully by Mania time. I would like to see that. So that'll be your fun little undercard match. Could even see that opening the show, but we'll see. They might open with one of the War Games again, like they did last year.
I can see that. I can see
Yeah.
them opening with the War Games.
Yeah, I know. Last year we opened with the. I think last year we opened with the women, closed with the men. Maybe we'll see a reverse of that. Maybe we'll see the men open and the women close. We'll see. Let's move on. Well, we've got the rest of the undercard is pretty much a couple title matches here. We've got, as we mentioned before, Gunther and the Miz in a how many chops is poor Miz gonna have to take in Chicago match.
Gunther.
Yeah, I mean, funny when Miz becomes a babyface, he can be surprisingly effective, and it seems to be working again in the sense that he hasn't really turned, but he's Gunther picking on him. Although it's kind of hard to think of young little Mike, as he called him, being this bullied kid, but maybe he was. I don't know, but he looks more like your high school jock. I know, but he definitely was a wrestling nerd growing up, so I guess that does work. Yeah, it was great. Like I said, great setup, except for Michael Cole yelling, "Come on, do it for us weird people!" I'm like, okay, Michael, calm down, Cole, calm down. Yeah, so Gunther will win this, obviously, but the real story is how red will Miz's chest be on Raw come Monday?
Yeah.
And I'm sure he'll be willing to take a bunch just to get that cred, and good for him. Well, we'll see if there's any more follow up this Friday. By the way, guys, FS1 SmackDown.
FS1.
I don't know if you guys have heard, but we might mention that again. We'll move on to our women's world title match, or formerly known as the Raw Women's title, as Rhea Ripley defends against Zoe Stark of all people, which interesting matchup. Did not expect her to win the number one contender spot.
I'm telling you one thing, and this will throw away my
yeah, go ahead, man.
Later on. But with 4 heels winning, they better end the pay-per-view with the men's War Games, because
yeah, I see what you're saying.
I don't see Damage Control losing, and I see Randy Orton's team winning. So
yeah,
they better end with men's.
We had the reverse last year. Damage Control lost, and then the Bloodline took the main event. So yeah, I guess we're jumping ahead of ourselves, but shows how much we think of this challenge for Rhea. But then again, not too many people are on her level right now.
No one is.
I hope it's a fun little match. Zoe can go. She's been impressive lately. That the match in Crown Jewel last month, she looked pretty good in that match.
I'm not even going to say what she is, but she's in for spot fests. She flips. We get it. Okay, cool. Next.
Well, I think she does a little more than that, but okay. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, token challenger of the month. Probably better than last year when we had poor Shotzi fighting Ronda, who, by the way, showed up at the Ring of Honor tapings this week for some reason because they were in LA. After Ronda had her second ever indie match this past week. Seems like she's doing that just locally there in LA. Makes a lot of sense. Anyway, yeah, so that's the Rhea Zoe. Obviously, nobody's going to pick Zoe here, so hopefully she survives. Yeah, so we'll move on. Again, we just talked about it, so let's talk about this men's. What do you guys want to talk about? We want to talk about Team Cody Rhodes taking on Judgment Day / Drew.
Team Cody Rhodes for the win.
What do we got? We're going to call them the American Nightmares. Are going to take the win. Or the American Vipers. I don't know what we're going to call these guys. The American Montreal, St. Louis. I don't know. We'll go on and on, but yeah,
the only faces that are winning this match. Better main event.
A better main event, and I know we just answered. I'm going to ask you again: Yeets or no Yeets? Team Cody's taking this win, as we're both going to predict that. We're going to say Yeet for everybody. Yes, we said it. Buy the shirt. Buy the shirt. It's Kevin Nash.
I'm going to buy the shirt. That's going to be one of my Mania shirts this year.
I as soon as I saw it, I had to show you. I'm like, yeah, I think he's going to want this. For sure.
Main event, Jay Uso.
Cody taking this. Not like the Judgment Day needs to win here. And this way you can continue this whole spat with, Damian Priest insisting he's the leader all of a sudden. Does he take the loss? They can blame him. There's a lot of ways you can go here. We'll see what happens with that. I don't think we're going to get any kind of, obviously, cash in. Although he could cash in during the match. Seth is in the match, so who knows?
I know.
Wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that be interesting?
I was just thinking that.
Does he cash in and make it both a War Games match and a title match and wins both the things? I don't know. I I don't think we're going to see that, but hey, you never know, right? Maybe Drew, like he said, maybe we'll prevent him again, like he did last month. He didn't forget about that. I do like the continuity there. Yeah, so that'll be a fun main event. Yeah, we already talked about the whole card. Like I said, only 5 matches. Maybe we'll get one added. Maybe we won't. We don't really have to.
Women's War Games we didn't touch on.
We didn't touch on them.
No.
Oh yeah, we didn't. You're right. We didn't touch on that. Let's move on to that. We said Damage Control is going to win, but yeah, probably. It'd be kind of weird unless they decide to have Bayley cost them the match, and that's the reason why they continue to have issues with her. We all expect that not to end well. So
I don't know. I see Damage Control.
Maybe they win, but she did something that almost makes them lose, and they get upset at her. There's going to be something to further this rift between the group here. We have to have some kind of big ending here in this show, considering we don't have any PLE scheduled for December. So it's going to be a long time for the road to the Rumble. So that's our big card. We 5 matches. Hey, I'm not complaining. We don't need to have 75 matches.
No.
Old Survivor Series used to have 4 or 5 matches when they all had all elimination matches. And kind of now War Games is kind of taking the place of those Survivor Series style matches. Although I wish we had at least one of those going on this year. But what are you going to do? I am a sucker for those.
If they added a random select Survivor Series traditional match for the kickoff, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. Heck, they should bring back like that one year they had the wild card with just random teams and there was like heels and they faced together. Why not? Or some kind of, like I said, if they wanted to do that or do a little Raw versus SmackDown thing without making a big deal about it, they could do that. Although, we were talking about Cody picking Randy. Now, why was he talking to Aldis? And somebody might ask, why is he doing that? Well, because I believe technically Randy is a member of the SmackDown roster. I don't know if that's 100% true because they did lose the titles on SmackDown but then Riddle went back to Raw. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say Riddle and Orton were Raw.
Right. They lost the titles and then Riddle stayed on Raw, but Randy obviously was gone. I don't know. I'm trying to remember people before that. Pretty sure he was on Raw. I don't know because I was wondering why is Cody talking to Nick Aldis, right? Unless he had a backup plan, didn't work. Obviously, we heard Sammy say his plan wasn't going to work because why? Because Kevin Owens is currently suspended.
We all know what Sammy Zayn's plan was.
I guess he forgot. Although he is, I think, having a Kevin Owens show this week, but I guess he's suspended from actually wrestling. He's too busy punching Theory and Grayson Waller in the face. I'm sure we'll see an appearance by then. We've also got Nakamura making all these illusions. Will we see him go out to the ring at Survivor Series and challenge whoever he's talking about? And who is he talking about? I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. I mean, we speculate on the show, but I'm not going to speculate. Let the crowd speculate. Anyway, it's going to be a big fun event. I think they released even more tickets. This thing is like a true sellout at this point.
Yeah, they said they released more.
They're using a smaller setup for the stage, which I think is cool. Old school setup. You don't need a big thing. I heard they're actually even doing that for Mania weekend. So minimal stage. I kind of like that. The old school little screen, maybe one little entrance.
They released more for SmackDown and Survivor Series.
Yeah, so it sounds like they're going to do that kind of setup, which is cool. Obviously, I don't know unless they're going to put the cages at the stage, or maybe they're going to do it in the crowd like they did in NXT. I don't know. If you played the video game, that's why that looks like that, because they did that in NXT once. I could kind of do without the cages and not really necessarily the little cages outside the shark cages. It was their twist on it.
They said
before that you would just have the teams hanging around the outside of the cage coming in when they're ready, basically.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter. It should be good. We're probably not going to see any blood, but I know people are going to ask that after we just saw that horrific match on last Saturday.
Oh my God.
But I think the intensity be here, and there's a lot of stories they can tell here. It's been building for a while, especially in the men's thing. This has been like Judgment Day versus Cody and Sammy and Jay has been a thing for months now. Even before Jay got there, they were beefing with Cody and Sammy. So yeah, this should be a lot of fun. No other matches added unless they add like a random match. Maybe they want to get LA Knight onto the card. I don't know. We'll see. Solo's got nothing to do. We'll see what happens. Anyways, that'll be a fun show. Hope you guys enjoy it. before we go, yeah, we talked about, of course, the Will Ospreay signing. FS1. If I don't know if you know that SmackDown's at FS1 this Friday night at 8 o'clock. Please reset your DVRs because there's, I believe, a college football game on Friday, which is kind of weird. But
yeah,
maybe Fox is like not caring because SmackDown's kind of a lame duck show for them now until next September. I don't know. All I know is it was a lame duck show this past week when it completely obliterated Collision in the ratings, and Rampage didn't do much better. Not surprising, as both shows were just random shows.
Yeah.
It's the only other news we had this week. We talked about Ospreay. There is this talk that the belief is within at least the WWE circles that MJF has in fact already re-signed with AEW, and I would not be surprised. I mean, the man's been world champion for a year. I don't think they'd be cutting it this close. So I expect him to do some kind of angle here with, like we talked about last show, World's End being added in Long Island. So will we see some kind of screw job there? We don't know.
I'll be there.
Yeah, we'll talk about that off there. It should be a good show. And again, if this is true, it would make a lot of sense because I don't know if you give the guy a year-long title reign, make him the top babyface in your company, and you're just going to let him walk. Probably not. And maybe he would think this time is not the time to jump. But we'll see. I still think one day he will, in fact, do that. Maybe not now. So that'll be interesting.
He's so young. He's going to wrestle everywhere.
Yeah. He's got a lot of years left. So it doesn't matter what he does just yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully he got a nice extension. I'm sure he got a nice amount of money. So good for him. So anyways, FS1. Have a great week. Enjoy NXT if you watch tonight, guys. Check out SmackDown. We got Survivor Series on Saturday. And then we've got all kinds of stuff happening. Thanksgiving, you shoppers out there shopping this weekend. There's been all month deals. Cyber Monday too, all that stuff. Go get your Fire Stick Max 4K like me and Charlie did last week.
Fuck yeah.
Got that early deal. With that, it has the remote with the dedicated Peacock button, which is a nice bonus.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. So I hope you guys have a great holiday weekend if you celebrate. If you don't, have a great week. Stuff your faces. Don't stuff your faces. Watch the parade. Go to the parade. I did that once when I was a kid.
Been there.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving. An American Thanksgiving, as it were. If you were in Canada, you already had that. So I hope you had a nice one. You want any more shout outs you want to give this week, Charlie? You all set?
Thank you to our subscribers. Thank you for watching the show tonight.
Yes, thanks again for all your support.
I'm very thankful and grateful for all of you.
We definitely are. We love you guys. We'll be back soon. Maybe we'll be back next week. We'll see. We'll let you guys know. Like I said, pretty soon we'll be talking about our year-end awards, and maybe we'll look for a little feedback before we do that and see what you guys think. If that sounds good. It sounds good to me, that's for sure. Anyways, have a good night. Have a great week. Great weekend. Don't eat too much. Or do. It's okay.
Yeah.
Have a good one. Good night.
Peace.